Listen. Yeah. Yes, God. Oh. Get that out of there.
Everybody, it is your boy Matty Rants. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We're going to be talking about Drag Race Mexico. So I hope you're having a good one. It is Friday, so we're at the end of our week before we get into the weekend here. I do know that All Stars 8 also premieres today, but I have not seen it yet because I've been doing Drag Race Mexico as well as also got a lot going on in the background here. So trust, we're going to talk about this episode today. I'm going to keep it within an hour. If you haven't been able to tell by my voice, I'm a tad bit under the weather here. So I'm not going to be on too long going in and having these long-winded conversations. I know some people will be happy about that, but I am not feeling at 100% currently right now. So I like to talk about the episode, get my main points across here, and then I need to get back into the bed because when I tell you, it has hit me like a ton of bricks over these past couple of hours. Waking up this morning, this cat not letting me sleep. Y'all know the rest of it. But let's start off with my social medias, and then let's get this going today. See, not that many of you here, but for those of you who have tuned in, I appreciate you so much for being here today and supporting your boy. No matter how many people show up, I appreciate every single person for being here and on time, or when you show up later, whatever you want to watch this. So love y'all down. It's at MattyRants everywhere except for Twitter, which is at the MattyRants. You can find that in the Linktree link description down below. If you just grab a branch and eat some fruit, you know the rhyme. You can find me in all those other social media places and spaces. Also, I am bookable on Cameo, so if you want to catch me there or for any sort of special request, it's not too crazy, then please check me out there. I also do reactions on Patreon. I just uploaded this episode today, filmed it this morning, to be honest with you. So check it out on Patreon for as low as $1 a month. I'd appreciate your support there as well. And thank you all for tuning in today. Happy birthday to you, Nine-Tail Phoenix. I wish I had a little bit more energy for you today, baby, but I send you all my love. You're one of my main Rant Pack members, and I've met you several times in my life in person, so I'm glad to know that it's your birthday today, and I hope you have a really good one. So let me go ahead and do all of this here. If you want to drop a tip in my jar, I'd appreciate it. Send me a little bit of love my way. All is appreciated. It's not necessary for participation on my channel, but I do thank each and every person who has sent me a little love, extra love in the tip jar or in the comment section, or hell, even just in any sort of capacity. I appreciate every single one of you, but it's paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App $MattyRants, Venmo Matty-Rants, Mamu-chan. All right. And also here, let's go ahead. I got to get this disclaimer popping up. Disclaimer, this program's for entertainment purposes only, and content is not intended to malign any religion, race, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by MattyRants and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every human being on the planet. No hate should be sent to any of the shows or individuals mentioned on this program, so please don't be rude. And if you feel uncomfortable after viewing this, consume some Mativia and have yourself a good old poot, okay? All right, great. Let's go ahead and jump into this car here today. I really am not in a physical position to sit and just blah, blah for the rest of it. I'm sorry, y'all. So if you're watching this right now, all my love to you. My apologies. I wish I had changed the date, but unfortunately, I popped this in earlier today, and then I said, oh, I'm not feeling it, but I got to get it done and make sure I'm still on schedule. So Drag Race Mexico has been bringing it, though. I do want to make that point made today that I am fully enjoying this show, and I really do vibe with how it's going. I think what I like the best, it's so damn short, and that may be my most favorite part of the show, because I'm not having to sit there for egobs of time and sort of, hearing conversations that aren't adding or, leading into any direction. So I'm kind of happy they are running through it a little bit. I will say today, though, Untucked, I think was a missed opportunity when the guest judge came back there. I think that was sweet, but it needed some time because there was a little bit of shade thrown prior to that moment. I'm like, oh, we should have had a resolution at that moment, and we did not. So maybe we'll have it again. But yeesh, let's go ahead and get into this episode. We had an advertising challenge, and we had a night of 1,000 Maria Felix's, icon in Mexico. For multiple reasons, really. But when we get back into the workroom, the following episode, I've noticed that they sort of skip. It's not really like a time spent moment on whoever went home. It's quickly boom, 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 next day, right? So we lost one, and some people miss them, some people don't. The lip sync again was called into question, and there's clearly a bit of shade, if you will, jabs being thrown, and not really feeling each other energy, in my opinion, coming from Vermelha and Serena Marina. Y'all, let me know if you can hear this toy that Mamuchan is playing with in the background. I will move it into my room right now. I can hear it loud and clear, but if you can't hear it, then I'll just keep on moving, y'all, because now he wants to get activated. He was just asleep. Anywho, moving forward here, you get the gist. Vermelha, who honestly, I don't know why you were talking any sort of junk. You were low, safe, low, and still low in all positions. So for me, I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, baby, it's been kind of a boo-boo run. Like, for real. And Serena, while you also got the girls gagged and goop, it ain't really been that great of a landing either. So I said, oh, okay. But let's keep it going. Let's figure it out. Both of you in trouble, in my opinion. I didn't understand it. I was like, what is this about? You both are on the lower end of the scale compared to some of the other bitches. Calm down. Calm down. So, we get a little cock-a-doodle-doo, little rooster crow. That doesn't make any sense. Rooster crows. Delirium. Rooster calls that happens where Valentina pops up on the screen and gives them a little bit of a light riddle as far as what their day is going to go. And when she does then walk into the workroom, I think Valentina looks stunning. Cute. Gorge. The full bit. I thought she gives for me. I really do love it. But she's giving the babies the mini challenge for today that is going to lead them to a taco stand. But they have to get into teams of 2 because one person is going to be eating said tacos while the other one is going to be shoving the food into their mouth. And, you get the gist. Somebody's the arms, the other person is the vessel. Right? Again, strange occurrence that happened here, and I didn't understand the logic behind Vermelha after just getting into it with Serena at this table to then want to be in a group with them together for this challenge. And I get she's like, we were Team Pink. I don't understand. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Huh? I'm over here thinking, what? Like, okay. I thought we weren't really vibing with. Okay, I didn't understand that logic. Serena, you kept it 100. I didn't know where Vermelha was going here, but I understood that there is going to be a narrative today that somebody is probably going to go home, and it's between these two. And I was right. I was right. I said, so either one of them is going. You know what I'm saying? But Regina got Vermelha, and of course, Serena ends it up with Lady Caro. So, listen. They get into some quick drag. The person who's going to eat has to be the one in the quick drag, while the other one is the arms. And then, of course, they get set up in their stations, which is this really cute little setup here that's going on. They're given about, I think, 60 seconds in order to eat like as many tacos as possible. The tacos did look good. I'm going to be the first person to tell you, I do not like a sweet taco. I like a savory taco. I like the pollo, the asada, the like steak and chicken with like the little cilantro and some onion and like a squeeze of lime on a corn tortilla. And that's it. That's it. I don't want no pineapple. I don't want no mango. I don't want none of that extra crap in my I'm that guy. I no. I like it plain, but I don't like it too like don't do too much for me because I'm not trying to have an explosion of 5 billion flavors. I want to taste that chicken or that steak. I want to taste the cilantro. I want to taste the onion. And I want to taste the corn tortilla. MTS. I have seen Pixie out of drag. Me and Jamar have had that discussion already. Yes, I have. A very attractive. Moving forward here, they start this competition up. I still am in love with this pit crew. My goodness gracious. But it's a fun time. It's really silly. It's very crazy. Nasty even, if you will, but everyone's having fun with this mini challenge. Now, I do have one particular issue with how this show is framed and designed so far. So, are you telling me that a mini challenge every other episode is the cash prize that you give in the episodes, and then for maxi challenges, they don't get nothing every other episode? Because the first episode, it was the mini challenge cash prize. Then the maxi challenge, there was no cash prize, right? Yes. Second episode, mini challenge. Was there even one? Let me think. Yes, there was. No, there wasn't. Was there? No, there wasn't. Maybe there was. No, there wasn't. And it was just the maxi challenge with them creating the look, and then that was the cash prize as well. Then we get to this episode. We got to eat tacos and we got paid. But the person who won the challenge didn't get nothing. I thought that was crazy. I said, wait, so how? I just don't know how it's being put together. It is a little weird how the prizes are going out. But well, shout out to Vermella, because the winner of this week's episode didn't get cash. I mean, you got to walk out with some, at least half of 18,000 pesos. So pop off. Her and Regina Voce. Do you know that? Yo, did you just figure out? Are you on my brain link right now? Did y'all just get where I was going? I'm like, Regina won this episode and Vermella went home. Why is that just now hitting me? Why is that just now hitting me? They won the mini challenge together, but both of them won one separately and the other lost completely this episode. But both left with money. So never mind. I take my entire statement back, even though I am correct with the original statement of why is the money sort of being split up between mini challenges and maxi challenges. It's like, oh wait, but Rahina won money for the mini challenge, so she won the maxi. We don't need to give her nothing. You already got cash. I don't know. That's crazy to me. These two won though. So congratulations to them both. Again, they got to split 18,000 pesos. This leads us into the maxi challenge and me looking at Lolita Banana as a possible victim of Lestat. No, I'm not going to do that. But if you've seen Interview with the Vampire, I'm just going to assume Lolita Banana is in the off-Broadway super, super, super gay Fire Island production version of that. Or a Ryan Murphy American Horror Story is coming soon. And Lolita Banana looks like she would definitely be around for 4 episodes before. Yep, it's giving that energy. I was like, look at these outfits. What's going on here today? But okay, pop off. Listen, Maxi Challenge. They have to do advertisements for their first drag businesses. And these drag businesses will all have a theme. And they're going to be given, I guess, the option of choosing based off of who won this mini challenge. And then it goes from there, right? Okay, so the pit crew, who I'm, once again, the perfect chest up. But the pit crew brings in the items that are supposed to represent the businesses that they're going to run. We have a funeral home, we have a nail shop, we have a travel agency, we have a taco stand, and we have a mechanic shop. That's the 5, because there's 10 of these babies, right? So because Vermelha and Regina won the mini challenge, they ended up being able to choose first. Okay, so they chose the taco stand, which to me, I was kind of like, I said, well, you just did that. But okay, again, that could easily be like, oh, okay, fine, this is easy to sell. We're doing an advertisement. I'm looking for a win. Mind you, they won. Well, one of them won. I also found it funny. Actually, oh, it is shady. This episode's super shady. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oh my God, this episode is shady because it's very, y'all team up in groups and do this commercial. We're going to judge you on the main stage, all of you, in groups, but not in groups, but in groups, because half of their commentary was, okay, so you're in groups and you played really well with your partner, but that also worked into you're in a group, but you didn't work well with your partner and your partner outshone you. To then lead from the whole group conversation after it was already given as a group for the mini challenge win. Oh my God, I'm putting all this together. The mini challenge was given as a group, but the maxi challenge was given individually. I don't think they wanted to give Christian another win. I think that they wanted Regina to have that win because honestly, I thought Regina ate that runway alive. But I also think she did good on the challenge too. But it was to spread the wins out. And also because Vermelha was somebody who they haven't been feeling. And it was like, oh, she's in a group with Regina. We're not going to give them a win. We're not going to give them a win because like Regina was carrying her. So let's just make it individual. And that way you had two different people from different groups having to lip sync against each other versus people in the same group, which is what I assumed was going to happen to Gala and Margaret. That's what I assumed was going to happen. It's like, oh, they're doing this in groups. Like, no, we're doing this individually. I was like, oh, so you would have sent one of the bitches home. Kind of a gag, right? But listen, back to the group setting here. Once again, Vermelha and Regina have the taco stand. I think the decision for me when I saw Pixie Matraca pick the funeral home, like, yeah, you no shade, Pixie. I was like, yeah, that would be the choice I would assume you were gonna pick. Then we have hold on here, our Hennis and Christian Peralta, and they chose the travel agency. And then we ended up with Serena, Marina, and Lady Caro taking the mechanics, which left Margaret Ija and Gala Vero with the nail salon. Okay. They had to make 45-second commercials, even though it felt longer than 45 seconds. I'm going to be very honest with you. They kept saying 45 seconds. And then I watched the clips back and I'm like, that was 45 seconds. They felt very long. But I don't, how am I supposed to put this? Have you ever seen those commercials that happen in the middle of the day? And for those of you who say you live in Texas, I don't know how this applies to the rest of the US or people watching, but for us in Texas, there are a lot of commercials that we'll have that are in Spanish, right? But they're also heavily Mexican, like very, very fast, very quick. This is the phone number. This is the building. These are the cars. Like doing a whole car sales. Hello. And it's very, hello, like coming right on in. And mind you, like there are other like American versions of videos that do all that kind of crap too, right? But I notice a lot with a lot of Spanish, like specifically for like car lots and like certain businesses, like very much like furniture stores, that kind of stuff. It's very quick, it's very fast, it's very like boom, 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 information, go. And they can be very iconic because it's so quick, but then you'll notice the details like, wait, what was that? And then okay, who? And then they may be taking themselves too seriously, so that makes it even funnier. And then other times it's like, oh, it just, drives a point in your head. There's this car lot out here in Houston. And it's every Saturday they have commercials play for like 2 hours. And it's like back to back to back, like these really quick little cuts. And it's kind of iconic because I'm like, damn, how they pulled this together. And how I might want to go buy a vehicle. So listen, I got the concept of what they were doing with this episode and them having to do quick commercials. What I also appreciated from this is somebody who was very much dealing with a headache at the time I was watching this, is that we got through this one quickly. They picked their options. They were told of the guest judge that they're going to have, which is it Donna or is it Dana? Is it Donna Paulo? And it's apparently Mexico's Britney Spears, which she gave everything. I loved the guest judge. I loved her. She was good. Like very, very like opinionated but good, and she was honestly just very good energy, and she kept it real for the one group that needed it. So I loved her a lot. But after that, it straight up, y'all, like vroom, cut, edit. We're not going to talk about them pulling their scripts together. We're not going to talk about the concepts. I was okay with that. I'm not gonna lie. I was okay with it because we got to see it here when Valentina and Lolita Banana looking like a mother with her child. I put this on everything. It looks like Valentina and her son are somewhere at somebody's office, and they're having to, like, basically explain certain things that happen. I don't know if they're at a therapy session, and Valentina's getting sick of Lolita acting out and, looking like a young honey Balenciaga. Super, super cute. I can't. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hit that like button if you will. I'm a little bit under the weather today, so I'm going to actually go through this a bit quickly. But hit that thumbs up button, drop a tip in my jar if you feel like it, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in today. Mambu-chan has stopped playing with his toy and he's eating some food now, so I can continue on without going crazy. But yeah, I knew there was going to be a problem with this group from the padding, but I also said, let's see how this works out. Then this group, I could only focus on one thing. And the same with this group. I was like, I need to get to the commercial because this isn't fair. And I'm trying to watch this show and it's turning into another episode of, well, Lord, I'm single. And then now, I need to talk about this one. Arhennis and Christian. Beach, I was kind of gagged when Christian put her hand up, like, when Arhennis walked over her lines in her scene, I was gagged, a bit gooped, if you will. Not to say that it was like mean or whatever, but when Christian is a professional, and it's like, honey, I'm telling you, it was very quick. The face never changed. I'm like, she's in front of the judges, mind you, so it wasn't like she turned and was like, "What's wrong with you?" It was very like, you stepped in and that face never changed, went right back into character. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Ow! Oh my goodness. I don't think Arhennis was ready for that, especially with their own personal feelings of, I'm very much that girl. She's like, oh no, I'm dealing with the big dog here. I'm like, yeah, because she's like, girl, you fucking up. What's happening? We never fuck up. Why are you fucking up? She said, I'm not going to let anybody mess me up. Do you hear me? Anybody? I said, okay, Christian. Oh. JP, I see your comment and I want to answer it, but I don't think it would be appropriate for me to even speak on that in reference to it, because that's kind of like not a territory I feel comfortable getting into, because but Alexis and Yara aren't Mexican, right? Like, versus how Valentina and Lolita are. So that's another big difference in saying Alexis and Yara would be better for this, but Alexis and Yara are Puerto Rican. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, that can't apply in this case out of likability of the other two, because you may find them more entertaining or understand them more when in a situation. It's like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you can't, because that's almost categorizing it by just language in them speaking it and then going, well, I rather have those two, versus it being like, who is actually Mexican representing the Drag Race Mexico franchise. Now, let's say Drag Race Puerto Rico pops up. By all means, put them in the door, but I'm sure there's also a long list of queens we can think of for that too. But I get what you're saying, but like, that's why I was like, wait, so what? I was like, I knew these two would be in trouble because their skit made no sense just from the walkthrough, like at all. Like it made not a lick, not a not a lick of sense. But I'm moving forward through this. I'm getting to the next day. Here comes the deep shit. Vermelho talks about their experience coming out to their family and the process, how it was, and it seems to be terrifying, but in reality, it ended up being a celebration for them, which is not a lot of people's stories, and it's also nice to hear those moments. But then we get into Gala's sort of way of looking at this situation, and their mother doesn't know that they do drag, nor does their family. There are other people on the show that the same applies to them, as well as say Drag Race France. I mean, hell, Drag Race in the States, drag in general. There's a lot of people that don't know because families are weird sometimes, and they show you they love you one minute and they can turn their back on you the next from you just being yourself. Nothing to do with them, nothing to hurt them for, but they can take it personal. And it's very tough to deal with. So I send my love to Gala. I'm hoping that from this show, that if your mom or dad or whoever from the family did see this, they send you love because you deserve it. But it is really always like a gut-wrenching feeling when you see someone who loves doing what they do, but they have to contemplate it because of their family's own wishes for them, and they can't actually enjoy and be who they are for themselves, where their families then feel, oh, well, as long as they're not making us look bad, it's okay. You would rather that person be so miserable. It's disgusting sometimes for me. It's something I also feel like I deal with my own family sometimes with, and I even like had a light conversation with my dad recently about this and why I don't really come around like I want to, or be around them like that. And if I do, it's very short. It's very, like very, very like I'm just not. I can't be here too long because y'all are going to say something or something's going to happen. And then I have to sit there and be uncomfortable. And you have to say, what's the problem? And I don't want to have to continue to explain myself when you know what's wrong, but you don't want to change. So I don't want to have to tell you to change anymore. You just won't see me. And if you want to change, then you'll see me. So that's just where it's at sometimes with those situations. But all my love to Gala. We moved through this, I'm telling you. And we got to Lolita Banana and Valentina on the runway with their looks. I'm guessing they're both representing somewhat of ooh, my brain just gave up on me. Oh my just gave up on me. Maria Felix's looks. I know that Valentina is doing it. I didn't get that as much from Lolita, but I know Valentina was doing something that was a part of the runway category this evening. So I was like, maybe that's something that was done, but I saw a little bit, more of a French Marie Antoinette-esque, can-esque look from Lolita. So I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, I thought so, MTS. I was like, And that's why one looks better than the other, even though I think they both look good. I'm more inclined to Valentina's look because it's kind of giving, even though her makeup was very interesting this week. I don't want to be shady, but there was something about the eyebrow right here, y'all. It was a whole nother color, and it was so severe that it looks like a completely different skin color up top from the brow area. And I don't know if she was trying to make herself give more of a Maria face in that look. And I'm trying to see if I have a close-up shot of it. I think I was kind today, Valentina, because I was like, child, I'm under the weather. I don't know about libation. Yeah, I'm not feeling good today. So I'm like, I don't know about libations, but I think that, yeah, yeah, Jason, it was really weird though for me when we got close to it and I saw it was something about when she's on the judges panel, and I don't think I got the shot today because I was like, I don't want to show it, I don't care. Her eyebrow is much higher up, which I do like, but it's something like up here compared to the way everything else is down here on the face that threw me off. And I was like, But it was only when she was sitting on the judges panel that I noticed it. And I was like, something's interesting. Okay. Just gotta keep moving on. Oscar Madroza is of course on the panel. It's the first time I got that right. Forgive me. And the, of course, guest judge here, who is an icon in Mexico, is Donna Palo. Oh, I got that right. When they said Mexican Britney Spears, I was like, oh, that's all I need. I was like, up, and I know exactly who that is now. But I loved her energy, and I thought she was really, really, really cutesy, ootsy, wootsy. And I love her like a lot, a lot. I was like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. And she was sweet. I enjoyed her the most in the lip sync. She was the best part of the lip sync. Just that I was like, oh, and she's the winner. She was from the Elite series from Netflix. I have never heard that series. All right, continue. Let's get to the category Night of 1,000 Maria Felixes. First up, it's kind of just now hitting me. It's like, is it me? A little bit. Yeah. It's so dark on the runway. They did black and white because Maria Felix has done a lot of black and white movies from that era and time situationship. So they wanted to keep it very much there, which I did enjoy that aspect of the runway. For me, and I love Pixie Pixie. This is it's okay. I thought she was just wearing a nice dress with a okay's, what is that, a sombrero, a little small one. I wasn't really, yeah, I wasn't into it. I was kind of like, and I like Pixie Pixie, but yeah, this was a little bit of a letdown for me. Oh, they showed the wrong picture? Wow. Okay. I mean, would it have helped? I see you, Bear Cover. I was on the same mind frame of thinking like that wouldn't make any sense. So we would have to keep it within a certain, frame. Like we just wouldn't have somebody from Brazil just say, "Oh, all of South America." It's like different regions, different dialects, concepts, this, that, and the other traditions. I mean, even in España, like you can tell, right? Because there's the what Andalusian, and then even in the Philippines too, with different regions where they even say it's sometimes hard to understand everything because of their accents, this, that, and the other. So that's where my mind was going with thinking like, but anywho, back to this Pixie Pixie. I thought, okay. I was like, it's okay. But I also would like to know what Lolita Banana's issue is with her makeup, but also with makeup in general when she's having these conversations. She said, girl, when she mentioned detox, now Lolita, I side-eyed you a little bit because I get where y'all are coming from with the concept, but when they mentioned detox, I was like, that was a finale look. She had time to do that. That was a little bit more complicated than just we have this amount of time in the workroom to get ready and get our looks together. Now, I totally understand that Christian came out here actually serving what Miss Peralta wanted to serve. Tea today. But I thought that was a weird comment to make because it was like, huh? Like, you want her to do what? And then, this is a perfect time for the grayscale, like detox. I'm thinking, baby, that was a finale. There was time to get that look together. Like, you cannot add this in the same equation when they're on the show. Like, they weren't. Matt, all right, let it go. I was like, that was a weird critique, Lolita, but I'm gonna keep going here. Next up is our Hennis. This is gorgeous. It was gorgeous. Okay, first of all, Maria Felix is just looking at this picture, I'm like, woo, my goodness, right? But I think Arhennis really, really did a good job recreating this outfit and and serving it on the runway. I was like, okay, it's a bop. The makeup was way, of course, on the drag side. That's drag queen, right? But like for me, I just thought, this was bust. I enjoyed it. I put a pin in this look. I was like, this is one of the tops for sure, for sure. Marguerite Ija. And I love Margaret. Margaret Ija. I love her. I do. Lolita hates your makeup so much. Like hates your makeup so much. Again, like I personally think concept-wise, I enjoyed the look. I will have to agree. And I hate to do it. I have to agree with Lolita here. I have to. Something about the way that face was done took me out of the illusion of what this outfit was giving for me. And I thought the outfit was cute when I saw it on her. I was like, okay, this is nice. But then when I looked at the mug, I was like, no, this needed a different beat than this harsh kind of eye look. But I do like how Margaret does her own makeup. I'm not knocking her style and aesthetic. I just something about it took me out of the moment for a night of 1,000 Maria Felixes. I didn't even know who that woman was. Like I knew a little bit about her, muy poquito, but like I think the outfit's nice. I just there's a disconnect from the face to me. So I don't want to say bad or horrible, or I just want to be like, it's a separation for me. I think separately the face will look nice on something else, and I think the outfit would look good with a softer face. Regina Voce, thank you for finally coming to this runway and giving me something I can start to praise you on. No shade, sister. I've hated damn near or pretty much been like, to the first two looks you've given us. This is puss. This is fire. I lived and breathe. Regina. I live and breathe. Eat. I was afraid Christian was going to win this episode and you weren't going to get time for this outfit because I was like, the outfit alone. Like, I will just forget about the challenge. The outfit alone, it looked expensive. It looked tailored as the golden corset bodice that gives abdomen oh my god, the hat, the shawl that she's carrying to go with baby, the necklace and everything while she was holding the other one there. Come on. This is who I saw on Queen of the Universe. I said thank you Regina Voce. Thank you. Because I was like, I've been waiting to get into the Regina factor, and I know she has it, but I was like, oh, girl, where is this? Come on, girl. Like, what's going on? This made up for last week. I have no notes. It is Puss Puss. It is my favorite of the week, period. It eats. Oh, it eats so hard. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Listen, now, Christian, I'm not taking this away from you because your outfit, this was stunning as well. And honestly, I wish Miss Veralto had been there long enough to see you paint your face this way because there could have been tips taken. I also found it funny that she did this with her face. Like, I'm going to do the whole pink effect and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was a clever way of making it different, but also selling the look and who it's inspired by, but also doing it well. Because it's been a while since I've seen someone paint their face pink on this stage and it looked decent. This season of Drag Race Mexico. I hate to shade that baby that's gone, but like on a real note, it was always some weird color. I was like, okay, what is this? So I think she looks fabulous. I think she looks beautiful. I thought Regina ate her up though, just a tad bit, but I thought this was lovely. It was a good look. I'm going to talk about that edit too at the end of the episode when they clearly made it seem like Christian was not too happy. No. Serena Morena is next, and it it kind of some people give you luxury and a little bit of expensive, and it could not even be very expensive clothes to make. Something about this looks cheap and sad, and it's actually kind of nice when I look at it, but I would imagine one of my older aunts wearing this look versus this, I would as much as this is kind of very fashionable and it's for the time for what it was worth, this needed to be so on the money to like really sell it. And I didn't get that energy from Serena when she was presenting the garment. It just gave a little bit like, okay, that's nice. Cause then I'm also in Valentina called it. I'm like, similar looks, not the same color exactly, but very similar looks. And it just needed a little bit more oomph for me. I'm not gonna say it's the worst thing in the world wild card, but I don't think Valentina was overreacting. It looked very sad compared to some of the other looks. I was like, oh, okay, you bought this at Dillard's as a one piece, got you. And this could be completely a fashion designer's clothes, but if we remember from Devil Wears Prada, where that cerulean blue found its way through several different stores before it became regular in a certain bit, it gives that, like, for me. So I don't know. You know, it didn't hit the mark for me. And then I see something from Lady Caro. Do you see this? Like, not exactly the same, but pretty damn near close to the look. And it's done very well. See, that's why I couldn't get into Serena's look, because I was just like, it's like, yeah, it's close and it kind of gives, but it just doesn't feel like that essence. It doesn't, you're not presenting it in a way that makes me feel like this is gourmand and it's expensive and it's selling me. Well, that was a wild card. I think you're late to the conversation because you may have missed my point in making that earlier, and how they were judging them as teams and then switched it after they went in the back to make it solo. But then when it came to the mini challenge as a team, to then stress the teams, it's one of my least favorite arcs or judgment decision types when it comes to shows, because it's like, really, like, you start this off thinking that this is about to be a group project, and then all of a sudden we get individual grades. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Why even do a group in the first place if that's what we're doing today? And another reason, again, wild card, just to further prove my point and also make sense of what we're making sense of here, is that Vermelha did not do good on her team. And so you're not going to give Regina Voce the win with Vermelha when she's not doing well, and that false sense of confidence to then send her home the following episode, right? And so we have then Lady Caro, who actually did do good on her challenge. And honestly, if we really talked about it, Serena did not get good critiques during the skit. I'm actually just now realizing it. So I think your point's kind of mute right now, just a little bit. Yeah, she didn't get great critiques. They kept on comparing her to Carol. They weren't saying that they did well together. They were saying that Carol was basically the one that they were mostly focused on. She didn't give as much as the other one, actually, now that I'm thinking about this. I literally just finished the episode. So let me whoop whoop to the point and whoop it back again. Still don't like it when they do the teams thing, but no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that, friend. Back to this look here. I thought it was great, excellent, tailored very well. Thought it was plus. I enjoyed it. It was a good look. It was a really good look. For those of you who may be like, Matt's kind of running through this right now, and I'm feeling some kind of way. I don't feel good right now. I'm under the weather, and I'm made this review and I did all that kind of stuff. So if that's a problem, I'm sorry, but I want to make sure I get this video out today, and we have All Stars 8 tomorrow. So while I may not feel good, I still got work to do, right? Now, getting back into this episode and no longer apologizing for me not feeling well here. Gala Lavera, let me tell you something, baby. you may mess up in challenges, but so far your runway has been like really pulling you back together. Like anytime I feel like you're not going to do well in the challenge, I'm like, oh, but she about to eat this runway alive. And it's so far you have done just that. You know what I'm saying? So this, I'm very impressed with how they made this sort of dress, this very replicated. It's not the same, but it's kind of very close there. I would even argue just with the front, with how the draping is, it's even better. I think I lived. I was like, oh, I also liked how she presented it and sold it on the runway. I was like, Gala's very fucking interesting. And I'm glad I didn't like that. When she walked in the workroom for the first time, I was like, I don't know about this one, baby. I do not know about this one. I've enjoyed her ever since. It's been a nice, slow, fun ride of getting to enjoy this queen here. So I think she's fabulous. I thought this was a great look. I really thought it was. You know, there is good with this dress. There's bad with it. For me, it looks like a lot of lumped up icing on a cake, with the juxtaposition of the white, and I'm talking about white, you know, with the lavender, just a little bit for me, like a birthday cake that doesn't have the words written on it, kind of. At the same time, I appreciate where she goes with her looks and her drag, and I did like her makeup, even though, you know, they as the judges were getting tired of it, I guess, or like, oh, well, you didn't change it for this. It's like, well, she did for the challenge, so like, okay. But I guess for me too, it always looks like the clothes are really heavy on Vermilla Noir. They always look a little heavy. Like she's got to pick all that shit up and be like, hey, like, is what it's giving sometimes for me. But personally, I don't think it's a horrible look. I just think it's a lot of fabric. It seemed kind of heavy. It didn't give me the fantasy that I was looking for, but I also respect their drag and what they present. So Matraka did this look, and I honestly think that Matraka's outfit was great. I have a problem. I think it looks good, and I liked it, and I thought they were pretty, and I love the message they had at the end. All of that. I have a problem, and I have this with a couple people. For me, her outfit is not the same as this, and it's not even it's very like reminiscent to it, but it's not the look like how some of the other people who have been giving the look, like that's the look, but then I'm gonna drag it, but this is the look, I'm gonna drag it. I could have sworn this was from something completely different from a whole nother actress because of the way the top is compared to how you see Maria Felix's, how she has that cut. It's not the same. And then you have this corset over the front versus a belt that's in, you feel what I'm saying? Like there, to me, it's not really Maria Felix. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. It really isn't. I just was like, this could be so many different other people versus her. Close because it's somewhat similar, but then I look at the gloves and then I'm seeing the shawl and then I'm seeing this. I'm like, I would say referential too. It's referencing it. It's not the homage, which I believe this is how the Night of 1,000 Maria Felixes should go. Anytime they do the Night of 1,000 anything, I don't want to do my interpretation of, if that makes any sense to y'all, because that's not the category. Even on US Drag Race, like RuPaul even feels that way. Girl, I want y'all to give me the look, like who that person is. You can drag it up, but give me the look. And so for me, this isn't the look. It's not at all. I thought this was low key, a scene from Mommy Dearest real quick. I don't know. I think it looks good though. It's beautiful, but I was like, it needs a different dress because that dress is not anywhere close to what that dress is in that picture that she was referencing at all. Like, at all. She's like traditional wear. I'm like, No, Jason, she said that I'm not missing that point. I didn't miss it, baby. That's what she would normally wear, which I hear you, but then I'm looking at this picture. If that's what she normally wears, this is a completely different outfit. That's like like a whole different era in time that it was made and everything. So, in my opinion, from me watching it, reading the translations, and then seeing how the critiques went down the runway after the whole, so you didn't want to do a look with this, that, and the other, and I didn't want to have the alligator necklace bit. To me, I thought it didn't hit the mark. And I would have personally been like, okay, girl, well, I see where you were trying to go with this, but I think the dress should have been different with what was going on here. But I get where y'all may have more insight than I do on this one. So I'm just telling you how I feel about that. All right, let's move on here. So we haven't gotten to anything as far as who should go home and why. That's not happening. My nose is freaking itching, man. I'm so sorry, y'all. Please forgive me. Oh God. I know. I'm going to blow. I'm going to take my little medicine. I'm going to take all that because I had to go to the doctor this morning because I was like, baby, I'm feeling something touch my spirit and I don't want it to stay and I don't want it to last because I got work to do and it's going to be a very busy weekend. So I'll take my antibiotics as soon as this is done. But yeah, whenever I don't feel good, my nose, and it's always this nostril. Wow! It'd be like tickle. It makes me look crazy. Okay. So listen. Lolita didn't like anybody's makeup. Okay. Lolita didn't like nobody's makeup. I mean, we could talk about that flower that's sitting in the front of your sister, but nah, you the judge. Go off, girl. You want to get into people's makeup and stuff. I think that the guest judge was honestly the nicest person on the panel. And then, everybody else kind of was okay. But Valentina was not happy getting talked back to, girl. That was funny. Matraka told her that comment. Valentina said, okay. But here comes them just having the conversations by themselves, right? Oh, she's like, I didn't really appreciate her doing all that. So funny. I was over here just crying because I'm like, Valentina, you're funny. I was like, where was that energy when she was there, sis? So I'm just playing. I was like, oh, are you? Oh, you a little leader talk behind back kind of judges? No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. Jose, shut up. Y'all gonna make me sneeze. It needs all that highlight to soften my face. Ow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't. Oh. I can't. I can't. You say for us. No, baby. You and me. I ain't just working for you, baby. I'm working for you and me. Okay. Shit. Going through the skits here, Arhenis and Christian, it was cool. It was a quick run. We got the concept of the airline. Everybody was kind of doing something slutty. Let's just be clear. I would like to say that I found it interesting that there were these panels where we got to see the judges and some of the contestants' reactions. And then other times it would cut off the middle of the skit so we could just see them. And I did not like that because I'm like, if we're supposed to focus on the skit and be an audience with y'all to see what we can critique on it, why would you cut off the moments that we need to see? That happened throughout all of them. So the second group, which is Regina and Remeja. Now, I kind of liked Regina. Vermelha, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Vermelha, baby, she was giving me Rima from Bad Girls Club about to get her ass beat. This bra has had better days. That breast bib deserved a bigger bra. Like, this is the most horrible. Who did you borrow those 2 items from? Please tell me, because I know you don't own any of those. Like, you can't own any of those. It's not possible. They don't even fit together. They look like they came from 2 separate people. Girl, like, I couldn't just, I had to just stare at that the entire time. There was no other choice. It was still a funny commercial, and I did like it. Now, oh God. Lady Carol, thank you for being in this commercial. Serena, for me, I really wasn't really vibing with. I thought, child, I don't even know why you there. Low key, no shade. I was also more focused on the pit crew. Yeah, it was the runway was being judged more than the category wild card. You're gonna have to just really just factor that in there, and it may not sit right with you, but that's what we just saw happen. The runway was factored in as more of a high scoring point, and that was between Valentina and Lolita, because that is their decision, like they always tell us. But yeah, I didn't really care for this one, to be honest with you. It was very much, Lady was the only one carrying this, and I thought Serena looked like some knock-knee individual just trying to be funny. So I was just like, okay, this isn't really vibing with me, and I'm just staring at the nice hairy man that's just sitting there. Mm-hmm. This was the worst one. I'm surprised they're both not in the bottom lip syncing, to be honest with you. That's when I knew they said, we're judging this individually. I was like, oh, so this won't have anything to do with the skit anymore. It won't. Because technically, if we're talking about groups, these 2 should be in the bottom lip syncing. I know, baby. You keep telling me. Really, you keep telling me. I'm back to this. Like, I'm saying these 2 should have been the bottom. like end of the day, if we're gonna keep this as that kind of sort of situation where it's like, oh, whoever's the worst is the worst needs to be in the bottom, that this should have been these 2 down, because this was so boring and stupid. It was so boring and stupid. End of discussion. Now, these 2, okay, Pixie and Matraka with the funeral home services. This one actually felt like a commercial versus anybody else. I'm going to be very real with you. I may have had a good time watching the other ones, but this one actually felt like a commercial. And it was from the point of them starting it off with the, oh no, they're dead, da 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 da. And then Matraka pops out the coffin like, and bam, this is the business. And it went right into where it needed to go to. And then all of a sudden it was then Pixie that ended up in the coffin being shut out. And I was like, okay, this was the most scaled advertisement out of everybody's, to where I could understand the point and I knew where this was going. They even gave an address where to come and the full bit. I was like, this to me was the best sketch. I just didn't think it was the funniest one. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, this was really well thought out, but not the funniest, not the most entertaining. Not the most entertaining for me. We heard a lot of commentary that happened in between and all that kind of stuff. And again, you see how they're all standing in groups, and this will soon be very much a separated situation, because obviously after the critiques are done, nobody's given an answer as of yet. And so when they go backstage, instead of us having a conversation with the queens about how they feel about what they just heard, which I don't know about the rest of you, but I personally feel that was a very bad edit decision for this show. Why? And no shade to, our guest judge, who's amazing, and we love them, right? They just got really weird critiques. And they also had moments where somebody could have gave a little something. There was so many missed opportunities for shade. There were so many missed opportunities for feelings to be, worked out. There were so many missed opportunities for Rahina to sit there and go, oh my God, I can't believe I'm close to the top. I was really nervous these last couple of episodes. I needed some moments to happen after that runway evaluation. I was like, we're just getting this. That's it. That's it. I need some resolutions. I was looking for Untucked. I was like, there's got to be an Untucked, another 30-minute episode after this, because there's just no way. Like, that's it. We then got to hear Valentina and Lolita kind of dragging some of these girls a bit. Interesting. Oscar giving his bearded commentary with the kindest of individuals sitting there giving a possible performance for Work the World. If you've been to the Work the World this year, you know that our guest judge looks exactly like somebody on the cast for that. But moving on, I thought this was so weird. It was like, okay, now that we're done talking, let's do the whole bit versus doing this at the beginning where they, but they did the whole team bit, right? So, okay, fine. So Gala, Lady Caro, Matraka, and Pixie were safe. I'm shocked for Pixie and Matraka only because they like gave them very interesting commentary. And I was like, I thought one of them would have been given more of a lower end of a score, but I was like, okay, great. So now we're at the tops and bottoms. This should have already been separated at the beginning of the episode. If you knew you were not going to judge this as teams, Matty, be quiet. Oh, my chest is killing me. That is there it is. That's where my brain is at. Why? It makes no sense. Oh, goodness. We could have done it. This is how it should have went down. They did the runway. They came up there as teams. Now we're going to go through your commercials. They've gone through the commercials. Thank you for all the work you've done. We enjoyed everything. But based off of everything so far, we're going to be doing this individually. So if these people would step forward, boom, 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 but go back. But it is nice that everyone did receive critiques before someone's like, Matty, it was nice to receive. I get that. It felt a little bit like, okay, what are we doing today now? Like we've changed this all up. So top three, bottom three. Top three is Christian Peralta, Argenis, and Regina Voce. And then we have Vermelha Nora, Serena Marina, and Margaret Ija, as the bottom three. Oh, my nose. Excuse me. Oh. I will blow you as soon as I get off here. We're almost done with this review. Shoes. My nosy. My nose. I'm going to have a red nose by the end of the day. Oh, my God. I hate that so much. Okay. I need to go get some soup and a grilled cheese. Ooh, a tomato bisque and a grilled cheese sandwich from Jason's Deli. That's what I'm going to get after this. That's what I'm going to get. The winner who, listen, I'm going to be real with you. They said, Argenis, you're safe. And it was Christian and it was Regina who were getting the, possible winner edit, right? I want you to look at Christian's face here because that edit was so nasty. And that's why I was really confused with how they went with this episode. It's like you had some shady edits and then you left out a lot of the juice with the shady edits that you were setting up. For example, we could have had a conversation about Christian saying, I'm probably going to take this in the back, and everyone agreeing to then get to this moment here. It's like, anywho. Christian's face, like, it's in the bag. Oh, bitch, it was so, I'm sorry, this was funny to me. She's like, it's in the bag. And I thought it was for a second, too. Like, damn, they're about to give her a second win. Then they go to Regina Voce, who, a completely different expression. Regina's eyes are, like, watering up a little bit, because she's like, oh, shit, they're going to say my name. Are they going to say my name? Are they going to say my name? Like, it was very that energy from Regina when she was sitting there. You can see a little shaking, too. I was like, oh, she's nervous. I was like, okay. And then they say Regina Voce is the winner of this week's episode. Butterflies be damned, all to be gone. I'm the winner. I'm so excited. I was very happy Regina won because I was like, please spread this out. I just sat through España and I cannot take another clear run again. Such a boring season that was because of it. But then they get back to Christian's face. And when I tell you, it's the smallest of muscles. Just slowly, it's like, okay, we go from here. I got it. I got it. It's totally in the bag. Oh, I'm so worried. Yes, I did it. And the smallest, the smallest of muscle in the mouth, just the mouth, versus it was just a little smirk and now it's just a, okay. And again, nothing against Christian here. I thought you could have easily taken it too, but it was just that, okay, no, wait a minute. I know you want to be the very best, but like, I think you got competition. There was a hug to, of course, ease that breezy moment, because that could have been very like, end it right there. Don't show her hugging. The world will think she's a hater, but not really. But of course, everyone's excited. Mini challenge, but they did win this episode. Yeah. Oh, look. Let's talk about a narrative that took place at the beginning of the episode that's found its way towards the end. It's Vermelha Noir versus Serena Marina. All right. Weren't they just arguing in the workroom at the beginning of the episode, talking about each other? Serena had said Vermelha was the one that should have lip synced instead of her this past week, and Vermelha was feeling some kind of way. And if you remember, Vermelha had one of the worst lip syncs ever with Miss Vallarta for the first episode and somehow was saved. I just love how Margaret's walked away and these two are looking at each other, but Vermelha has this like really just face and Serena's just like, okay. It's like two aunties about to get in a battle. I'm really here for it. Fuck it up. I would have liked to have said that. You're going to laugh at how I say this song's name. So our guest judge has a song called Xt4SIS. I'm kidding. Is it supposed to mean something, or is it Xt4sis? Like, is it just that and we call it that and just leave it there? Like, help me out here. I don't know this artist, and I thought I was here like, no, what the fuck? I was like, wait, no, we got letters and numbers. Is this, what kind of code is this? Ooh. I like the song though. It was cute. I would have liked the song better if we had better people lip syncing to it. And so here we begin. Serena put this purse down, got up and danced like a drunk auntie. Initially, is how that started. Vermelha, everyone's already explained that to me. Thank you. And that doesn't actually help in any way, like with the song. So the 4 is like an A, and when the people replace E with 3, oh, okay. Okay, ecstasy. See, there you go. That's the answer. Appreciate it. She was the best part of the lip sync, in my opinion, and I wish we saw more of her lip syncing her own fucking song, because I was so bored. I was so bored. Y'all. Vermelha, I don't know if you're actually a great lip syncer. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's because you paint your face like you're about to spook some child in the middle of the night. Like, I don't know if it's because you look like that one possessed doll that sits in a room. Like, I don't understand. I like want to be like, they're amazing. I like, I want it. I watched her have to pick up all that fabric and move it around and do all of this and give possible villain in another Conjuring series tease. Like, I can't. I wanted to be like, yes, go for it and back all that bark up, but it was not happening. It wasn't happening. And then Serena Marina over there dancing like her joints hurt. Bitch, she was doing this at one point in time, and I was like, whose auntie has too much, like, what is this? The Casamigos is hitting. The tequila is fucking her ass up. Like, it ain't, and it's not working. So I was like, God, this is awful. And like Matraka said, nobody knew the words. Again. But I will say, when we got backstage, and then she started taking off her clothes to reveal a very, it's not cute bodysuit. That bodysuit is not cute. Girl, that shit was ugly. But I was like, oh, she's pulled up her little socks and stuff. She's giving a little Madonna, time goes by. And then she Prissy walked up to the front. For those of you who don't know my Prissy walk, when I talk about it, it's when people put the hands forward and do a little trot up there. She just trotted, a little pussy trotted up there and gave me nothing. And I was like, what? Like, you took off your clothes and now it's still okay. I thought she was about to buck, y'all. I was like, oh, she's about to wear it out. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. It was they tried their best though. They put on a show for the people that were in that room. But I was just like, girl, she took off that shit. She ran up to the front and went boom. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, what else is about to happen? And then I love how Vermelho's like, I got a trick up my sleeve. Oh, she want to take off clothes and change clothes on me? Bet. Takes out some confetti from her last outfit that she made and throws it in the air. Boo, boo, boo. Then all of a sudden, hold on. We're not even done here. Serena goes into her purse and pulls out shit to throw in the air. I didn't know what was happening. And I know that this is not the best that Mexico has to offer when it comes to lip sync artists. Trust and believe that. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to these queens, but like pulling in the person who also went home recently, these three in particular, it ain't been cute. I'm hoping the other 8 give me a little bit more. I have a feeling they will. I know Regina can do it because I've seen her do Queen of the Universe. I know she has emotions in singing. So I know that bitch would be fine. But these 3, like Serena and Vermelha and Miss Veronica, oh my God, it is like, oh, no. It ain't. Do you need a ballad? Is that what the problem is? Y'all ballad girls, you Parker Barkers? Is that what this is? It's nah, not interesting. So yeah. Serena wins the lip sync by default for changing her clothes on stage, and also because Lolita has something against people with makeup that she don't like. I'm kidding. And Vermelha gives a little speech out the door and writes something on the mirror for the lipstick. And you know what? I'll tell you this. I was okay with the decision that was made, and I was ready for the next episode after that. I kind of wish they did 2 episodes. I'll be real with you. I needed 2 because I was like, that was not satisfactory. I need another episode to really like fill me up because I'm still waiting for that lip sync moment from this season. That's going to be the one. You know how it is with every season of Drag Race. There's that one lip sync per season that makes you go, oh, that the girls were eating. They were hungry that day. I need it, especially for the first franchise. Necessary. I need it. And I know Christian can give. I can already tell from a lot of the other girls I see up there. I'm like, oh no, these other babies, if they ever have to lip sync, it's going to be tough. But I'm waiting on it. I have a feeling whoever is going to lip sync against Serena next is probably going to be one of the ones that are really good at lip syncing. Unless it's going to be another board. Oh, child, I'm nervous. I don't even know. Shit. Listen, that's Drag Race Mexico. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in today and dealing with me while I'm a little bit under the weather. I know I ran through this a little bit quick, may have been a little sharp in my tone. I have to keep pushing forward. I can't hold on to some stuff in the conversations that were happening here, but you are more than welcome to that in my comment section. Talk about this episode of Drag Race Mexico one more time. Talk about this episode of Drag Race Mexico, episode 3, and your opinions and feelings on that. Those are the comments that will be left in the chat. And I'll see y'all tomorrow for the All Stars 8 review, and I'll be filming my reaction in the morning tomorrow because I'm about to take a nice, nasty little nap, okay? My thoughts about Kiki and her baby daddy, I will hold that until the panel on Sunday when we have time to talk about that today. But check out my Twitter. If you haven't, I've already given my sort of like context on how I feel about that situation. So yeah. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate your support. Sorry my energy wasn't really up there today. Please don't hold that against me. I will see you all for tomorrow's episode of All Stars 8. Hopefully I feel a little bit better. If anything else happens, I will let you know for sure, okay? Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Listen. Yeah.